Hello and welcome to how I play my level 50 rogue. So we're gonna this is not gonna be a very long video, I don't think. There's not much to the class at this point. Now I'm playing on live and this is Verant Interactive, but you know, there's just not a lot of abilities to the rogue right now. So we have like no spells, right? We do have a few disciplines. And there's only one that I use, and that's sneak attack. Sneak attack, you carefully aim at your opponent, causing your next backstab to never miss and cause greater damage. You may only prepare for a sneak attack after being hidden for a few seconds. Once you're visible, you must attack quickly or you lose your advantage. So I don't think any of these training dummies are low enough level for me to actually land a backstab on. I think I picked them up. I don't know why. 70, yeah, these are all too high, but effectively what you do is you hide, you sneak, you know, now we're good, right? We come over behind, sneak attack, come on. This is a few second delay, right? Or did we not sneak? Oh, we failed to hide, never mind. There we go, we hid. Now we could sneak, attack, come on. There we go, got it. And then you just backstab. And then we backstabbed a level 70 for 207, so you know, it's pretty nice. But you know, normally it's like around 300-ish backstab with my current weapon. But that's the only like ability that I go out of my way to use. Now, there are other things we can do, right? Like the main thing a rogue does is backstab, so you want to be backstabbing as much as possible, which is kind of hard to do, in all honesty, when you're solo, like this character has been. We do have a mercenary, right? And I do use the tank mercenary or the healer mercenary, so that allows me to sometimes, you know, get up in here and backstab, right? But you have to be within, I would say, like right here to right here to backstab, so it's kind of hard to go from let's turn off sneak so we can move faster here. It's kind of hard to go from, like, you know, face tanking a mob to backstabbing it in a single you know, action. It's kind of hard, so you know, you lose out on that damage if you're tanking until 59. Then you get chaotic stab, which allows you to backstab from the front for less damage, but still gives it to you. So it's, you know, yeah, it's like it's two abilities now. Like two abilities we can kind of use. Now, what really is nice on live is rogues can go to a merchant in Plane of Knowledge, right by the small bank near the guild lobby zone line, and you can purchase these poisons here, Bite of the Shizar. They go from like whatever level you are, right? So these are level 40 versions, require level 40. And this is kind of like where a lot of the lower level damage on live for a rogue kind of comes from. Here, let's just turn on an attack real quick. And you can kind of see here like how much damage we're doing with our current weapons and stuff. Let's go to spell damage here. Now, I don't know if I'll be able to there, so it resisted it. So let me see if I can find a lower level one here real quick. This one's 70. Here's 65. Let's try that one. I had the Hobbs and Friends change all these guys out. 60. Oh, there's a 61. Alright, we'll go with this level 60. I should be able to land the poison on a level 60. Now, the poison is actually pretty crazy when it comes to the amount of damage it does, especially on live. It's in the thousands. Like I'm hitting for what, 20 to 40 normal attacks. My backstabs are, let's see here if we can get a backstab. Let's see where this next backstab's going to be. Now, I do have auto skill backstab. There we go. 1400 proc for the poison, right? 128 backstab on this guy. I saw some higher ones earlier. 93. So we're getting some terrible backstabs at the moment, but it is it can go up higher, right? Yeah, there's a 270. So it just varies, and you know how that goes. But we proc for 1400. Now, that's a lot of aggro, if you think about it. And if we have a, multiple mobs, we're probably going to be tanking whatever the mob is we proc this on. It requires a lot of aggro to pull this off of the rogue. And the mercenary tank, sometimes it works pretty well, sometimes not. There's a 359 backstab right there, so you can kind of see the range. Now I am using a 1319 weapon, so we bought this one a few episodes ago. It's, I think, North TOV loot, raid rapier, right? So it's a decent weapon. It's not the best we could have at this level, but it's decent enough to get us some kills here. And we're losing damage from our offhand because we're using like this terrible rough defiant still. But so poisons, that adds into our what we're doing here. That's our arsenal of stuff. Now this is not specific to the rogue, but specific to how I'm playing the rogue right now. So I have haste potions from the alchemists in Plane of Knowledge, healing over time potions, pure healing potions, those poison potions, and I do have cloudy potions on her also, because cloudy potions are instantaneous in Viz. So that's kind of a little bit useful in certain situations, like the rogue has hide and sneak, but I haven't been working with my skills. Hide and sneak also lowers my speed significantly, so it's very useful to have stuff like that. But other than like that stuff, right, the rogue, that's pretty much the rogue in a nutshell, right? We get hide and sneak, and that allows us to hide. So you can see here I fail because I have like no skill in hide at all. So we do it again. There we go. We've hidden from view, and we're already sneaking. So you can see how slow we're moving here. Now if we take off journeyman boots, this is what it's like without any kind of speed modifiers. Now with journeyman boots, a little bit faster, right? It's a good distance faster. And if we had a bard to give us solos, we would be zooming around. It would be no problem. So it's you got to get into that position. Remember, this one is the level 50, right? That one's level 60, right? So we just go up, sneak attack. Am I like not? Oh, I guess I did something to break hide. So I've hidden, and I failed sneak. You can see the herd of elephants fails sneak, and then you have wait 2 or 3 seconds to retry. There we go. Now we are sneaking again. Go over here, sneak attack. Once it's on, backstab. 173. Didn't really get much of a benefit out of that at all, in all honesty. So you kind of see just how that works out and stuff like that. Let's see, what else is there worth covering for this class right now. Now, like as we get AAs and we start getting more disciplines in the 80s, things will get a lot more interesting with this class. But all the melee classes in Classic, Kunark, Velius, I would say all the way to like Omens of War, Gates of Discord, they're pretty boring. They have no real anything to do. Like monks get a kick, rogues get the backstab. Berserkers come later, so they don't really count right now because they do have more stuff to do. Rangers, paladins, shadow knights, beast lords, they all have spells and stuff because they're hybrids, so they don't really count. But rogues, warriors, monks, they're very bare bones at this level, so not a lot to do. But I think that's like everything that I can think of that I do, right? It's pretty much walk up to the mob, backstab it if I can. I have it auto skilled because I'm just so lazy. But there we go. We got a 308. It's not a whole lot to it. Now, rogues do get some other things that are kind of unique to the class, but they're not really. What's the word? They're not really combat skills. So we get pickpockets, which allows us to pick the pocket of a mob. Now, you want to get that skill up anyway to get your Epic 1.0. So it's something useful to have. Now, we also get disarm traps. We get sense traps and stuff like that. I tried doing this in Chardock where I know a trap is, and I couldn't get it to work. I haven't spent any effort onto it, but it is something that exists. I think if we do any of the Lost Dungeons and Norrath instance dungeons, it's more useful inside of that content. But we'll see as we go through some of this stuff. And then we get pick lock, which requires lockpicks right here. And bards and rogues get pick lock. You pretty much, there are doors in Sibyllus that you can't get into without the crypt. You need a rogue or a bard to open that. In Chardock, there is a locked door going to the royals, and you need a bard or rogue to open that. You need about 200 a skill. So what is my skill at now? I think I went and worked on it. Yeah, I got pick lock at 135. You need about 200 skill to open those doors. There's not much after that. I think there's a few raid mechanics that require it, but that's about it. No group content after that stuff that I know of. But there is a book in Plane of Tranquility right when you zone in. I have a video on it on how to level up lockpicking really quick. But every time you click lockpick, all you do is you like grab the lockpicks like this, and you like say this is the book that's in Plane of Tranquility. You just hit U over and over again, and it will every time you hit U, it will up your skill. You can also click it with the lockpicks in your hand, but if you click in the wrong spot, you'll like, sometimes it says, do you want to drop it? It's kind of weird. It's not doing it now for some reason, but I've had it where it tries to do that. And it also, like, I don't know, I'm clicking, but it's like moving the camera and stuff, so it's a little annoying. I just like to hit U, and it works phenomenally. But that is how I play my rogue. We were playing this character solo, so there's not much to it. There's no boxes. There's no synergies going on yet. I switch mercenaries as I need, right? If I need, cleric buffs, I switch to the healer mercenary. If I need the tank to actually try to get some experience, I switch to the tank. And at this level, the tank mercenary is able to not die to mobs here at like level 50, right? So that he can take multiple mobs, and I can backstab. Now, if I push hide while I'm in combat, right now, so I guess you have to have aggro for it to do it, but that's how a rogue can evade and lose aggro. So that's probably something useful to mention. It's dependent on your hide skill, so I don't have a lot of skill, but every time you push hide, it gives you a chance to lower your aggro, right? For some reason, when I push it, it's just going straight to trying to hide and not actually trying to evade, because the combat dummy is not like on my extended target list, so I'm not aggro, stuff like that. So a little bit different, but it lowers your aggro, and you can evade onto the next person who has the aggro. So if I'm, face tanking a mob, I can evade it onto the tank mercenary, the healer mercenary, and so on and so on. And then they will have aggro for however long it takes, usually until the next poison proc. Is generally how it's been working for me, but it's a little bit of a useful way to kind of shed some of that aggro to make things slightly more palatable for soloing, but it's been a difficult experience so far. The rogue lacks durability. Like, I think we used our item to get a fungi tunic. We used J boots. We're using her. I changed the series that I play this character in. Once a week I get to pick a new item, and it's been utility items to keep us alive. Now, the fungi tunic is nice to have for a rogue, because if you're not tanking, you're regenerating health, and if you only have the tank mercenary out, that's useful, because while he's tanking, I'm getting 36 regen. So stuff like that is just little tidbits of information there. But that's it. That's all I got for the rogue. It is a fun class. On TOPs, you don't have access to the poisons until I think later than Planes of Power, even though it's available on that. I think it's like Omens of Wars when you can pick that stuff up, maybe even later. So on live, you have a better advantage when it comes to that. It's hard to get a group for a rogue on TLPs for sure. They don't do a lot of damage, but on live, they do significant damage. So it's like night and day. But yeah, there we go. If there's any questions or comments, I said something wrong, please let me know. Thank you very much for watching. Please have a fantastic day.